Welcome to Lesson 2, the Confluence Scoring System. In this lesson, every scoring component gets its own full chart example. You will see complete 24-hour trading days with bullish examples, bearish opposites, consolidation patterns, and setups that score from A+ all the way down to B, which means no trade. Let's begin with the foundation. Here is a complete 24-hour day on XAUUSD. The 6 time gates are marked. 6 a.m. awakening at the European pre-market, 9 a.m. pre-London, 12 p.m. London lock, 3 p.m. New York open. The highest probability gate, 6 p.m. exhaustion, and 8 p.m. the flip candle. Notice how each gate corresponds to a session transition where market behavior shifts. The Asian session from midnight to 8 a.m. shows tight consolidation. London opens at 10 a.m. with volatility. New York opens at 3 p.m. with the decisive move. This is the time framework we score from 1 to 3 points. Time score of 3 points. The 3 p.m. New York open with bullish continuation. Look at this full day chart. The Asian session consolidates from midnight to 8 a.m. The 6 a.m. candle shows the awakening with a small bullish bias. The 9 a.m. candle breaks out of the overnight box. London trends bullish from 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. Then, at 3 p.m., the New York candle breaks above the London high with a large body, minimal wick, and clear continuation. This is the highest probability setup in the entire system. Time score equals 3 because you are trading the 15 o'clock gate with clear session bias alignment. 52 of 68 charts showed a decisive move at this gate. That is 76.5%. Time score of 3 points but bearish. The opposite scenario. Same full day structure. Asian consolidation. 6 a.m. awakening. London establishes a bullish trend through the morning. But at 3 p.m. New York open, the candle closes against the London trend. The 15 o'clock candle is large and red, taking out the last 2 to 3 candles of the London move. This is a reversal, not a continuation. It still scores 3 on time because 15 o'clock is the highest probability gate, regardless of direction. The reversal happens in approximately 40% of decisive 15 o'clock sessions. Enter short at the 3:15 pullback. Stop 12 to 15 points behind the 15 o'clock extreme. Target 50 to 70% retracement of the London move. Time score of 2 points. The 9 a.m. pre-London box break. Look at this full day chart. The overnight box from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. is clearly marked. The 6 a.m. awakening shows a bullish bias. Then, at 9 a.m., the candle breaks decisively above the overnight box with a body greater than 50% of its range. The direction continues as the dominant trend approximately 70 to 75% of the time when the break is decisive. This scores 2 points on time because 9 a.m. is a strong gate but not as high probability as 3 p.m. The score upgrades to 3 if the 6 a.m. bias confirms and the break is decisive. Here, the 9 o'clock alone with box break scores 2. Time score of 2 but weak, the opposite where you do not trade. Look at this full day chart. The overnight box forms normally, but at 9 a.m., the candle has a small body, long wick, and closes back inside the box. No decisive break. Then at 12 p.m., the candle is a doji. At 3 p.m., another doji. The entire day is a whipsaw session with no directional commitment at any gate. This is a no-trade day. Even though 9 o'clock and 15 o'clock are high probability gates, when they produce weak candles with no conviction, there's no trade. The time score drops to 1 or 0 because the gates produce no usable signal. Remember, the gate is only valuable if the candle at that gate shows conviction. No conviction, no trade. Time score of 1 point. The 6 p.m. exhaustion gate. Look at this full day chart. The 3 p.m. move already happened. That was the A+ setup. By 6 p.m., London has been closed for an hour. Only New York remains and liquidity is thinner. The 6 p.m. candle shows exhaustion, a long wick against the prevailing trend with a small body. This gate scores only 1 point because it is suboptimal for new entries. The 6 p.m. gate is used to close existing positions or add a small counter-trend fade only if you already have profit buffer. Do not initiate new directional positions at 6 p.m. as a standalone strategy. The exhaustion signal is for management, not entry. Structure score of 3 points. The SR flip with full day context. Look at this chart. The resistance level at 2652.80 was touched 3 times during the London session, at 10 a.m., at 11 a.m., and again at 12 p.m. Each touch produced a visible reaction with wicks showing rejection. Then at 2:30 p.m., price breaks through with a large bullish candle, body greater than 50%, closing clearly above the level. At 3:15 p.m., price retests the exact level. The retest candle shows a lower wick touching 2652.80 and bouncing. The retest happens within 3 candles of the break. This is a textbook SR flip. Entry at the bounce. Stop 8 points below the flipped level. Structure score equals 3. Structure score of 3 points. The false breakout. The opposite of a clean break. Look at this full day chart. Price approaches the key level at 2653.00 through the morning session. At 12:30 p.m., price wicks above the level, but the body is small and closes back toward the range. The next candle at 1 p.m. confirms the false break by closing back inside the original range with a red body. Everyone who bought the breakout is now trapped. Their stops fuel the reversal. Enter in the reversal direction, short, at the close of the confirmation candle. Stop 10 to 15 points beyond the false break wick, extreme. Target back to the opposite side of the range. This is the most profitable pattern when identified correctly, but it requires patience. Wait for the confirmation candle. Do not enter against the wick while it is still forming. Structure score of 2 points. The consolidation break. Look at this full day chart. From 9 a.m. through 1 p.m., price oscillates within a tightening range to 7 candles of compression with shrinking volatility. Each successive candle is smaller than the previous. This is the coil unwinding. Stop orders accumulate above and below the range. At 2 p.m., a decisive close above the range breaks out with body greater than 50%. A wick break that closes back inside would be a fake out, but here the close is decisive. Entry at the close of the breakout candle or on the first pullback to the broken boundary. Stop 10 to 15 points behind the opposite boundary of the consolidation. Target: the width of the consolidation range projected from the breakout point. Structure score equals 2 because consolidation break is strong but not as reliable as SR flip or false breakout. Level quality score of 3 points. Excellent. Look at this full day chart. The support level at 2650.50 is touched 3 times with strong reactions each time. First touch at 6 a.m. A hammer candle forms with a long lower wick showing clear rejection. Price bounces 80 cents. Second touch at 10 a.m. Price returns to the same level, produces another wick bounce. Third touch at 2 p.m. Price returns again, the level holds, and then a strong reversal candle confirms. 3+ touches with strong reactions within a 24-hour window. This is an excellent level. Level quality score equals 3. When combined with a time gate and structure pattern at this level, the confluence score reaches A+ territory. Level quality score of 1 point. Weak, the opposite of excellent. Look at this full day chart. Price is chopping through the day with no clear levels. At 12 p.m., price touches 2651.00 once with a small reaction, but there are no prior touches, no established zone, no structural significance. This is a weak level. Level quality score equals 1. A weak level is not traded alone. It only becomes valid if confluence from time and structure also align. But even with time and structure, a weak level drags the total score down. If your level quality is 1, the maximum possible score is 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 equals 8, which is borderline more realistically, with moderate structure and no ETF. You are looking at a B grade. Skip it. The multi-time frame bonus adds 1 point when your setup is visible and confirmed on both the 1-hour and 15-minute charts. Here is the 1-hour chart showing the setup. The resistance level, the touches, the break, and the retest are all visible. Now switch to the 15-minute chart and you see the same pattern with even more detail. The individual touches are clearer. The break has more candles to confirm, and the retest shows precise rejection. When both timeframes align, the setup is significantly stronger, ADD 1 point. When only one timeframe shows the setup clearly, no bonus. This bonus is the difference between a 9 and a 10, between A and A+. Always check both charts before scoring. Here is a complete A+ setup scoring 10 out of 10. Look at this full day chart. Time, 15 o'clock New York Open, the highest probability gate. Time score equals 3. Structure, SR flip. The resistance at 2,652.50 was touched 3 times between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Price. Broke through at 3 p.m. with a large body candle, then retested at 3:15 with clear rejection wick. Structure score equals 3. Level quality. 3 touches with strong reactions within 24 hours. Excellent. Level score equals 3. Multi-time frame. The setup is visible on both 1 hour and 15-minute charts. Bonus equals 1. Total score. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 equals 10. Grade A+. Action. Take immediately with full position size and 1.5% risk. This is the exact scoring process you will use on every trade. Here is a B grade setup scoring 5 out of 10. Do not trade this. Look at this full day chart. Time, 12 o'clock London lock, a secondary gate. Time score equals 2. Structure, touch and reverse at a moderate level. The touch is visible but the reaction is weak. Small wick, no clear reversal candle. Structure score equals 2. Level quality, only 1 prior touch with weak reaction. Moderate at best. Level score equals 1. Multi-time frame, not clearly visible on 15-minute. Bonus equals 0. Total score, 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 equals 5. Grade B action. No trade. Watch only. Remember, B grade trades are not almost good enough. They are losing trades that have not happened yet. The difference between A and B is a 20-point difference in win rate. A scores 70 to 75%. B scores 45 to 55%. That gap is the difference between compounding wealth and compounding losses. Skip B setups every single time. Recap of Lesson 2. The confluence score equals time plus structure plus level. Quality plus the optional multi-time frame bonus. Maximum is 10 points. Time scores 1 to 3 based on which gate you trade. 15 o'clock and decisive 9 o'clock break score 3. 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock score 2. 18 o'clock and 21 o'clock score 1. Structure scores 1 to 3, SR flip and false breakout with confirmation score 3. Consolidation break and touch and reverse score 2. Level quality scores 1 to 3 plus strong touches within 24 hours scores 3. 2 touches scores 2. 1 touch scores 1. The MTF bonus adds 1. When both 1 hour and 15-minute confirm. Grade A+ and 9 to 10, take immediately, full size 1.5% risk. Grade A at 7 to 8, take with confidence, standard size 1% risk. Grade B at 5 to 6, no trade. Skip at 0 to 4, walk away. In Lesson 3, we will deep dive into each of the 5 universal structure patterns with full day chart examples. Thank you for watching.